Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a cup of joe. Let's talk some philosophical ramblings. I want to talk about words a little bit more. Last segment I spoke about words and how they matter. But we also tend to forgive words. More often than not, we forgive words. People can say things to us and we forgive them like it doesn't matter. And it really does. It does matter what people say to us. It matters a lot. And when we act like it doesn't matter, when we tend to forgive those words more often than we should, it gives those people permission to continue to speak to you in less than you deserve ways. You decide what you deserve by forgiving them. You're giving permission to this type of behavior. So if you're okay with it, fine. But if you're not, then start creating clear boundaries. Redefine how you agree to be treated. Redefine how you are willing to be treated. Willing. You are willingly allowing this treatment. Okay? You can have the life that you want with some focus and some real self-love. Period. Be that king or that queen or the empress or the emperor of the tarot in your own life. This isn't 1930. Be like Sisters with Voices. Remember them? SWV, the band. They have this great song that I really love. If your man starts acting up, switch and take his friend. Erase, replace, embrace, new face. Come on. Like, that's a real thing. It's that easy to do. If these people act up in your life and they can't treat you with the RESPECT that you know you deserve, kick them to the curb. Move on. Why waste your energy? Why waste your effort? Why waste your tears? Why waste your begging, crying, pleading on them? Why? Why do it? It ain't gonna change them. Because if you keep allowing them to speak to you the way they do, treat you the way they do, which is less than you deserve, or it would not make you sad. It would not affect you negatively if it was not less than you know you deserve. Okay? So honor what you know you deserve. Honor your self-worth. Take back control of your life. Don't let nobody be a player in your life if they don't want to play the game that you like playing. Okay? Because, child, you've been playing the game of life since you were born. Might as well learn the rules are within your amount of love for you. You might as well figure this out now. You write the rules of your game. You always have. You've always been the one who rules the rules. You decide how your game of life is played, your interaction with other people. You've always decided that. Yeah. This, a lot of times, leads back to childhood issues, right? Your parents didn't treat you right. Your older siblings didn't treat you right. People at school didn't treat you right. Teachers didn't treat you right. Preachers, whoever, right? And as a child, you couldn't do anything about it, but you still knew it wasn't right. You hit a crossroad. You hit a fork in the road at some point in your childhood where you either said, "This is just how it is, and people are going to treat me this way, and I might as well just accept this is my fate," Or you take that other fork in the road, the path less traveled, and you say, I ain't letting y'all treat me this way, and then you're labeled rebellious or whatever. Whatever. Let them label you. Stand up for you. You deserve it. Fight for you. Nobody else is going to. If you don't fight for you, nobody else is going to. And if they do, it's only out of, emotion that they're doing it. And that's good for them, but it's not good for you that you're not fighting for yourself. So, you might as well learn these rules are within your amount of love for you and act accordingly. Don't work hard for someone else that isn't working hard for you. Live by example. Live by example. And that does not mean do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and just that. It don't mean just that. There's more to that story that got left out. You do unto others as you would have them to do unto you, which means, you treat them the way you would like to be treated. But if they don't do something similar in exchange, they don't get to be in your game. Throw them out of your game of life. Move them on. There's plenty of other people out there that'd be glad to play in your game with you. You want to recreate your life? You want to change timelines? Create it and it'll come. Because it's already here. It's when you become aware of it that makes it so. You have that power within you. You have that power within you. So how do you master emotion? This is a deep contemplation. And it was a lesson that I had to learn very intimately. Because I'm not just a Cancerian. I'm a Cancerian. Sun, moon, and rising. Okay? So I got emotion all over my chart. So how do you master emotion, which can lead to low vibrations, depression, anxiety, sadness, anger, disappointment, lack mentality, less than mentality within you? You breathe through it. In every situation in your life, you breathe through it. You pause and you take a breath and recalibrate your emotions, recalibrate your focus. Really think about it. Lose the need to actually control the way things play out and go with the flow of life events with the focus of the end goal in your mind. Trying to manifest every detail is controlling it, and you cannot be hanging on to that control. The way to control is to focus on what you want and then let go of the details about how you get there. You don't worry about how you're going to get from point A to point C. You don't worry about what's on the path of B to get to C. You just focus on the end goal of C. I'm going to get to C. Just know that. It don't matter how you're getting there. You'll get there. Walk in that faith that you are going to get there. Because there's going to be lots of screenplays in front of you. Illusions, false appearances that are going to create the fear, create the animosity, create the doubt. You can't let that in. Those are tests that are put in place to test you, to test your faith, to test how bad you want this. Okay? So, pass the tests this time by understanding how to pass the test, how to play the game. Changes happen by the second, by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year. Changes are always happening. So regardless of what you think you're seeing, regardless of what you think is happening right in front of you in the now, breathe and focus on the outcome, the end goal, the prize. Focus your eyes on the prize. Not how you're going to win the race, how you're going to be at the finish line and victorious. Okay? Trust in that knowing that it is going to happen. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it is coming because you deserve it and you have faith in it. And so it will be. Matter, the word matter, is the Alpha and the Omega. If it does matter, it creates or it destroys. If it doesn't matter, it destroys or it creates. Matter is the destroyer and the creator, the Alpha and the Omega, or Omega and the Alpha, the way I said it. If you don't use your choice and your free will mind, and it don't matter to you, some outcome doesn't matter to you, then it forms on its own out of the chaos of your thoughts being back and forth on does it matter, doesn't it matter, does it matter, doesn't it matter. So the chaos, if being wishy-washy is where you're at in life, the chaos that's created from you being wishy-washy is going to create more chaos in your life, more wishy-washy, some good, some bad, some good, some bad, some good, some bad, right? If you're focused on this is going to be my outcome, even if this looks like shit right now, my outcome is going to be I'm going to find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? That's your focus, and you don't look at the mud shit hole that you're standing in right here in front of you. You can't see the mud. You ain't looking at the mud. You ain't going to pay attention to the mud because you know God's got this. You've got this. The universe is listening and going to answer your prayers. Walk in that faith. Don't worry about the fact that your shoes are muddy right now. Don't worry about it. Because tomorrow they're going to get cleaned up and it's going to be fine. Right? You're not going to be stuck in this mud hole forever. Everything changes every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month. It's always changing. Right? Actually, when I got this download information, the song, that little Orphan Annie song or whatever it is, kept playing in my head over and over. The sun will come out tomorrow. Just like over and over and over and over and over. The song kept playing until I got all this wrote down that one day. Because we have to understand there's so many people in the world who are trying to do the self-help stuff, trying to do the spiritual growth stuff, trying to teach you ascension, trying to teach you what enlightenment is, or spiritual growth, or whatever words they want to use, the great awakening. Okay? But they're not really giving you the meat and the potatoes of how to get there. So we have to dissect this down to the very intricate thought level, thought processes, what's happening, what is going on in the thought processes that needs corrected in order to correct your path you're on and find your joy, find your true north. And only you can do that for you. Only you can do that. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you the pieces to put your own puzzle together. But you're the one that has that image of what that puzzle looks like, not me. I don't know what your puzzle looks like. And even if I did, you could always change it, modify it, make it look different. Because it's your puzzle. It's your will. It's your choice. And you are free to do so. You always have been. So I want to talk a little bit about building your own foundation of self. And I wrote a bunch of stuff all over my page, so I hope that I do you justice by trying to explain it all to you the way that it was coming out of me. So first, when we're born, or even before we're born, rather, before we come here, we chose our family, we chose our experiences, we chose all of that, right? That's your outer architecture. That's what your design blueprint of your outer architecture, your outer home, if you will. If we're a building, if we're a home, if each one of us within the self, within the soul, is a house or a home or structure. The family, the experiences that we chose before we were ever born lay the foundation for that house that we're going to build. Okay, that temple or that hell. I just heard him say it, or that hell. So as you grow and you become more conscious, you being made of this light energy and what we call love, you become more in flow with God energy, the God particle, the Higgs boson, if you will. Spatial conscience is on your own terms and in your own time. As you realize more, you have to move to the next floor of your home. You build another level. You build another wing. You build whatever, right? You're moving up or branching out, moving out. You're growing. That's your spatial consciousness. As you become more aware and more self-realizing. As a child, when we look in the mirror, that's a self-realization of what we look like on the outer shell. As we grow and change and learn, it's more of an inner reflection, an inner mirror of what do we really look like. So as you move and build a new floor to your home or a new wing to your floor, you now have more space. So now you have more interactions with other family, other friends, so on, people that you live with. Um, and those people are also learning. Those people are also growing. Those people are also becoming more self-aware, or not, which is the point I'm getting to here, because your spatial growth is at your pace and on your time, and their spatial consciousness growth is on their time and at their pace. So, like, let's say you're becoming more consciously aware of what you eat. Let's take hot dogs, for example. All of us know what's in hot dogs now, but there's some people that legitimately don't care what's in a hot dog. And then there's other people that legitimately care a whole damn lot and won't put it in their body anymore. So let's say you've become spatially conscious, spatially aware, self-realization of what you're putting in your body, and now suddenly hot dogs repulse you. Okay? So, well, if you're hanging out with people that always just want to eat hot dogs, you're not going to want to go hang out with them when it's time to eat because you don't want the hot dog. And, if there's no other option but the hot dogs, that's not an option you want to take. So then you have a choice to make. Do you continue to hang out with the people that just want to consume the hot dogs all the time? Or do you want to branch out further, build a new level to your house, build a new wing to your architecture structure, your spatial consciousness and awareness of life, and branch out further and go find new people to hang out with that eat things that are more in alignment with what you're comfortable in eating now? So we grow and we change and we meet people and, we grow apart from people. And that's just life. Okay. Another level of becoming consciously aware is within your faith or losing faith in organized religions, belief in what you've been told, aware of deceits, aware of where it all comes from, and actually caring about it, or suddenly caring about the old ways and the natural practices, for example. Even obtaining your psychic abilities and practicing it and, becoming more well versed in how to use it and utilize it. All of these things that we do in life are not always going to be on equal par with other people in our lives. And so there comes a time in our life where we're at this crossroads again, where we have to choose, do I want to honor the path that I'm on, or do I want to stay on the same path over here because this is where my friends are, or this is where my family is, you know? And all throughout history, we've been shown by example that you outgrow your parents, you outgrow childhood friends occasionally. Um, you outgrow from the conscious awareness. It doesn't mean you walk away from your parents and you never see them again, but you move out of their home. You want your own home now, right? You're going to have your own job, your own home, your own car, your own rules, not mom and dad's rules anymore. So it's intended to be that way. That's natural procession of the conscious growth, is to move forward and continue on your own path, your own journey of finding yourself and finding your own true north. And we should not feel guilty for stepping away from some individuals in our lives. But we should also not be ugly about it either. It should be a respectful choice to move forward for your own good, not out of malice or hate or any of those things. I'm not trying to say to be full of ego and greed about it. So, I would advise for you to, if you don't already, begin to pray a lot. Begin to really talk out loud to God any time of the day, or your spirit guides, whoever you feel comfortable talking to, angels. Ask for guidance and then pay attention to the signs because they literally are all around us all the time. And in doing this, you will further your understanding of learning your light, learning about the God flow, learning about God love, and you have to find that for yourself as well. And then learning and understanding your spatial growth in your consciousness, in your spiritual levels of growth, obtaining your psychic awareness and practicing it, exploration of the self and what that really means, the awareness of the traps and the tricks, the manipulations that are all put in place everywhere we look to enslave us and control us, awareness of the deceits as a truther. All of these things are levels that we're going to go through um, at some point in time. Maybe not in this lifetime for all of us, but at some point in time, all all souls will experience this. Um, so just for a minute, I want to talk about your thoughts and how much they matter again. I want to kind of switch my gear back to how thought matters. Um, so, as a medical intuitive, I can tell you with 100% assurity that if your knowledge of who or what you are is lacking, you don't have that spatial awareness of who you are, or you're not trying to learn it, trying to develop it, and you're like totally closed off to it, it doesn't matter what amazing things I can do personally to move your energy around or your chakras or whatever, because it's not going to really help you. It's not. Just your being closed minded to it or not believing in it enough to embrace it, be open to it, allow the gift of someone who does understand it to bless you with a healing. You're not going to get blessed. You're just not. You're not going to be healed in any way, shape, or form. Your chakras are not going to be in line. Whatever it is that you're needing done, um, it's not going to be fixed. And I know this for a fact from being a medical intuitive, that it's very crucial for you to at least be open minded and willing to allow the reception of the gift that I have to give to you, or it doesn't work because um, free will matters. Free will is a very big deal thing in all of it, and belief is, the faith in it, the thoughts you have on it, all matter, right? In order for it to be in physical matter for you, it all matters. Um, there's been people that I personally have helped um, to be well, who suffered from great diseases that are typically a death sentence. I'm trying to be careful with my words. Um, and they were healed, 100% healed, because they had at least the faith in me to do the healing. If not their own ability to couple their energy strength with mine, and we worked in concert together. And then there were other people who had a swollen knee, a torn ACL. Could have easily been fixed. Could have easily been healed through energetic Reiki, however you want to pronounce it, healing. But that person didn't believe in any of this. That person says this is New Age hoopla. Excuse me. I hope that wasn't too loud in your ear. And that person, I could feel them blocking my energy as I'm trying to heal them. And I'm still just like pulling all the forces from the universe to blast them with healing, and block out shield their negativity. And it didn't heal their knee at all. But what it did do was shut down the power to my house and 823-ish surrounding houses in the neighborhood. Totally fried the transformer right outside my house. And I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board. Let's think about this. Because I don't want to be blowing transformers and myself or my neighbors going without power. So how do I prevent this from happening? Well, you prevent it from happening by not forcing a healing on someone that you know is definitely trying to block you from doing the healing, because they don't want you to be right. They don't believe in it. So then if you did do it, they would have to rethink how they feel and believe about things. And this person was adamant in their energy. And I read energy well, and I'm telling you, everything in them did not want this healing, even though they were sitting there amicable enough to let me try to heal their knee. But it was really more of a off the cuff comment, you know, well, if you can heal so many people, why don't you just come heal my knee? Right? Kind of thing. So every bit of it came from negative energy, and I should have never done it to begin with. So lesson learned for me. And I guarantee I won't blow out no more electric transformers because I'm not gonna force it if it don't fit, right? That's what we all gotta learn. If it don't fit, don't force it. It don't matter what it is, but especially with energy. So if your energy's not fitting and meshing with somebody else that's wanting the healing, don't even try to heal them. I won't waste my time on people no more. I'm not gonna waste my effort, my energy. That's my currency. I'm not going to spend my money, my personal, energetic money, on something that ain't even worth it. I'm not. So lesson learned for me and lesson learned for you from my lessons learned. How you like that one? Okay, so uh, your thoughts create the health issues that you have, whether you like that or not. It's as simple as that. They just do. Your thoughts and your gratitude determine your health. That's a true statement. I've seen many people that were diagnosed with 6, 7, 8 different kinds of cancer throughout their life and miraculously recovered from every one of them because they walked that faithfully with joy and gratitude and overcome every one of them. And every one of them were a test. Every one of them were a reminder of how they faltered on their faith once they got healed and became this person again with these bad habits, doing these same habitual patterns. And so God had to remind them again. And I say God, but they did it. Because God created these laws, these fail safes for you to learn from. You see, it's universal laws, and it's God. God did it. But God's not trying to punish you. Just like you could say the devil made me do it, or the devil's against me and the devil's getting in my way, whatever. No, God created the devil too. Keep that in mind. Don't get that twisted no more. That devil is there to tempt you and test you, to see where your faith is, to see where your strength is, to see where your resilience and your will and your action and your thoughts are at. That devil is necessary. So don't blame that devil. And matter of fact, that whole the devil made me do it thing is a cop out because it was your choice. And you know that as well as I do. You made that choice. Okay, so moving on. Um, your thoughts create the health issues that you have. Period. You can't undo created matter with a magic wand or a genie. So your thought has to have the freedom, the permission, and the choice to create something new, to create optimal health. That's how you rewrite it. Create new. Don't try to patch the old. Don't try to uncreate or undo anything. Energy is forever. You can't stop it. You can't end it. Once you've put it into motion, once you've created it, you cannot undo it the way you think. Okay? But you can rearrange it. You can improve upon it. And then eventually that makes it go away. And I say eventually, but literally it can be minutes or days type of time frame. You know, it can happen pretty fast. Depends on your level of faith. But energy is forever, so you can't stop it, you can't end it, but you can change it. You can manipulate it into something more favorable, into something new, with thought and allowing the new to be created. Now, let's say, yes, I choose this and still don't heal. That's because on some level, you either don't feel worthy of it. Uh, Maybe that's because you're too humble. Maybe it's because of low self esteem. Whatever it is, the bottom line is you didn't feel worthy of it. You did not feel that you were worth the blessing, that you deserved the blessing. Okay? Some level of you. And you can argue with me till you're blue in the face, but until you're honest with yourself, you're never going to realize that. You're never going to learn that because we are not honest with ourselves. We lie like a dog to ourselves to feel better about our choices and our decisions and our thoughts and the way we talk to ourselves. Period. So start being real with you. You don't have to be real with me. You don't have to be real with anybody else. Be real with you. Once you're real with you, everything changes. Tough love starts with you. Be real with you. Be honest about how you're talking to yourself. Be honest about what you feel like you deserve and what you don't. What you're worth. Right? And being humble, people think that that's supposed to be a respectful thing to be humble. But to be humble is to feel like you don't deserve it. Okay? So, yeah, in some ways it's good to be humble, but it has to be a healthy humble. Like anything else, it's got to have that proper balance to it. Because true humility gives God all of the credit and the glory. Okay? Now, stick with me. Don't lose your interest here. Pay attention. True humility gives all the credit and the glory to the Great Spirit, to God, the Creator, Source. But in knowing thyself, you also know that true humility merges you with the Great Spirit as part of the Trinity. You are in the equation. Because if it wasn't for your free will, if it wasn't for your choice, if it wasn't for your allowance and acceptance, you would not get the blessings. You would not get the healings. You would not get the things that you should be grateful for, right? And give gratitude to. And true humility is to remain always in gratitude rather than being cocky for what you can do because you've learned, because you've done the work, because now you know a larger spatial conscious awareness of self, which is also of God. And I just heard Spirit say to me, show them how to say God in sign language. God. You're bringing God into the temple, into the self. Right here, you. You're merging. That's how you say it in sign language. You're merging God into the temple, into the self. It's the Trinity, guys. True humility is to know that God is within you. So, being too humble, low self-esteem, whatever it is, you give up your will to have the new if you say that it's up to God. You're throwing chance to the wind. You're throwing odds of probability out the window, giving up any kind of free will or choice. Your choice is to see what does the odds of probability and me, right? Because God only works through you. Works through me, works through you, works through us. So if you're giving it up to God, then you're giving up your part in doing your work. You have to be actionable. You can sit and pray all day long, but if you're not being actionable and dutiful in trying to achieve what it is that you're asking God to help you with, God can't help you if you can't help yourself. You got to get out of your own way. You got to allow it in. And we can't alter each other enough on our own, for bad or for good, without your permission. If you don't care enough to shield your energy from those who would harm you, then you're giving up your free will, choice, and self-love and allowing harm in. And harm comes in all ways. It comes in the substances that are everywhere around us. You can walk in fear of the chemicals that are in our products and in our air and in our skies and in the water and wherever else. You can walk in fear of that, or you can walk in awareness of that and with your own thought and your own willpower, walk in a knowing that it is not going to affect you negatively. It's not. And then it won't. And there's no trick to that. There's no trick to that. Don't even try to overthink it. Don't. Because it really is that simple. It really is. Give your grace and your gratitude for every little bitty thing that you have in your life that's good for you, that brings you joy. Everything. Be grateful for it. Focus on those things. Don't focus on the stuff that could hurt you or harm you, because everything around us could hurt us or harm us in some way. Everything and everyone. And if we focus our energy on those things, that's what we're going to get more of. Focus on your gratitude for everything that you have. Your health, your 2 feet, your legs, your teeth, your toothbrush, your great toilet paper, your cute little lamp in the corner, whatever it is. Whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Be grateful for it. And I mean, like, really be grateful. Like, really look at your things and be like, I'm so grateful that I have that. I'm really just thankful that I have that. And be happy about it. And allow it to bring you joy, because it's not a bad thing to feel the pleasure, to feel the joy of the things you have. Everybody wants to put so much emphasis on these material items. You shouldn't have any kind of an attachment to your material items. But material items are how we gauge, and how we've always gauged, how well we're doing. Even when we were cavemen, what were their material objects? Their tools, their weapons, their pretty rocks, maybe a nice fur that somebody got to wear to keep warm. Those were their material things. And they were proud of them. They brought them joy. They brought them safety. They brought them survival. Right? So they should be grateful for them. They should want to cling to them in some aspect, not in a negative ego way, but in a grateful way. And it's okay. It's okay to really like your stuff. You should really like your stuff, because that's how you're grateful for it. If you're not grateful for your things, then you don't really like your stuff. You shouldn't even have it, you know? Literally everything in my room, I'm very grateful for. I really like this stuff. This is my jam, right? This is my gig. I'm really proud of that award on the wall. I'm really proud of that angel picture beneath it, because that's the cover of my book that was channeled through spirit. It's my life story. But I didn't know how to write a book. No more than I knew how to build a website and have one of those that I'm real proud of too, that spirit showed me how to build. I walked in faith. I'm really proud of my little trolls over there. I got a teeny one right in the middle. He's my itty bitty guy. But I really like my trolls, you know? And it's okay to like my trolls. It's okay to be happy that I have trolls. You shouldn't feel bad for the things that you have. You shouldn't feel like you don't have some kind of an emotional attachment to them, because you do. You absolutely do. And that's proven when we die. Native Americans would burn all of our stuff that was our possessions, because all of our possessions have our energy signature in them. Because of those attachments we created. We created attachments with our things. That's how the essence of our spirit is left behind, here and there and everywhere. That's why, and you know that on an innate primal level, you already know that. And that's why you have grandma's trinket sitting on your shelf, or grandpa's pipe, or your dad's favorite pair of sunglasses. I don't know. But I mean, that's why we keep items of other people's for ourselves, because it's got their essence in it. It's got their energy signature in it. And that's to be treasured. So if you didn't put your essence into all of your rocks and things that you have, like me, right? If I didn't put my energy and my essence into all my rocks, then when I pass them down to my kids someday, They would just be damn rocks. I mean, rocks have their own energy and signature, don't get me wrong. But it's more than that because they were mine, right? Because they're mine, and I love my rocks. I really do. I love my rocks. I do. I love all of my rocks. Rocks are some of my favorite things. So they have my essence in them. And when I give them as gifts, people feel that. They feel that specialness in that rock. That's the alchemical process of putting your soul into something, a little piece of your soul. And you have plenty of it to share, you know, for good things and bad things. We put our soul into bad things too. We don't just put our essence into things in a happy, joyful, rainbow, puppy dog, tails and bunny ear kind of way. We do it in really ugly, nasty aspects as well, you know. Take, for example, you feel obligated to buy a Christmas present for someone that you just really don't like. So you may buy them the gift just so that on the outside it looks like you did the right thing. But if you had negative thoughts, negative feelings about it when you purchased it, you just passed them something with your essence of negativity in it. And you, again, you know that on a primal, instinctive level as well. Because you will willingly, openly do that when you intend to bring negativity to someone. You will put that negative essence, that negative spirit, that negative thought into an item or a situation intentionally. So you already know this on your base level. You just need to become spatially conscious of it at all times. Spatially aware that you're always doing it. This is not something you have to learn how to do. This is something you have to learn how to either control or let go of control for. Balance. Okay? So, where am I at on my notes? Do the work. Spend your resources, meaning energy, to learn who you are, because it is within you. Yes, I can help you find it, just as I can help you heal. But you have to be open, and you have to be willing to do your part of the work. I am not here to do it for you. I am not going to be your reluctant Messiah. I am not. I've learned that lesson the hard way. I am here to guide you to your own inner light, to your own inner keys of wisdom. Being awake means that you are regaining your conscious awareness of self. Consciousness is the study of the self and learning that every choice has consequences, has a ripple effect that can either benefit or harm you and others. You will always be tempted. It doesn't go away. It only changes form. It's a fail-safe, and it's a daily effort. So let me just go back to being physically fit. Let's say you want to lose weight, be more healthy. So what do you need to do to make that happen? The first thing you need to do is shop differently. You have to buy different products. You have to prepare your food in a different way. But you can do all of these things and never lose the first pound if your heart really isn't in it. If your emotion isn't really in it, right? Like, how bad do you really want it? How dedicated to it are you? How willing being the word again, how willing are you to put your energy, your effort, into this? Or are you just going to go through the motions of it and all the while tell yourself, I don't really like this kind of food. I don't really like this kind of prep. I don't really like having to go to this store to buy this stuff. I don't really think I'm going to lose the weight. You know, whatever it is, whatever negative incantations you are creating with your words in your thought energy is what will be your outcome. Okay? So it's not as simple as think positive, think negative. People don't understand those terms. They don't get it. It doesn't explain the meat and the bones and the potatoes of it. In order for you to change your thought and change your mind, to change your matter, your physical world, you have to want it. You have to believe you deserve it because you've earned it or something. You have to believe you deserve it. You have to feel worthy. You have to feel enough to get it. So you can spend the extra money on the fancy groceries. You can go to the store that maybe isn't as aesthetically pleasing or too confusing for you to be in, whatever the case may be. You can go through the motions of learning the new recipes and cooking it with the special oils and the special whatever. But if you're not enjoying doing this, if you're not excited about doing this, if you're not really willing to put all that effort into it, and it's a humdrum, I'm just drudging through the motions here because I really have to just lose some weight. You're not going to lose the weight. So don't even waste your time. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Because you've already sealed your fate because you don't really want to do it. So just don't. Just honor the fact that you don't. Be real with yourself. Be honest. I just really don't. I know I need to lose weight, but I really don't want to. I don't want to have to go through the effort. Okay, fine. So then accept yourself for who you are and love yourself the way you are. You know, find some other way to become more physically fit in whatever that means for you in an amicable way, an acceptable way, a way that is in line with who you are. Now, I'm not repeating what I just heard. I'm just not. If it if he keeps up about it, I might, but I'm just not right now. Because my guides and God are quite blunt and candid with me, and I think they expect me to be that way with others. But sharpness doesn't always create a well delivered message. So I'm just gonna zip that one for a little while. Anyway, so you shop different, you prep different, but do you really want it? Because if you do, then you'll give yourself that permission to have that treat for doing a good job, you know, rather than the feeling guilty because you had a treat thing, like we talked about in the other episode. It's all about perspective. It's good to have a goal and it's good to have a reward. It's guilty if you say you fell off of the diet or you fell off the wagon or whatever. That's a guilty thing, right? You're feeling bad about it. So the feeling bad about it should tell you, and again, this goes back to being honest with yourself. If you're feeling bad about some choice you've made, then you know that you should have made another choice. And you need to be talking to yourself and finding out, why do I keep making these bad decisions for myself? What is it in me that keeps just allowing me to make these bad decisions? What there needs to be looked at, because that's not healthy. That's self sabotage, and you are instinctively from birth created to be a self survivalist, not a self sabotager. So if you're sabotaging something, you need to be asking yourself, why? Why is this here? And if you can't find it on your own, come talk to me and I will help you. and we figure it out. We can correct it, we can heal it, we can remove it, we can replace it with new energy, new perspectives. Okay? A new understanding, a new understanding. So be honest with yourself. Because if you give yourself permission to have that reward for meeting your goal, and whatever length of time that is, 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month, it's up to you. You decide. You decide where that goal post is. And when you meet that goal, give yourself permission to have a reward for it and actually feel worthy of it, actually enjoy it. Because the guilt comes from you knowing that you didn't do 100% or that you didn't give it, your all. You didn't really want to do this in the first place. Not 100% anyway. You did not 100% really want to do this. 90% of you could have been like, yeah, I really want to lose this weight. That other 10% of you is this, ho-ho queen over here that just wants to eat all the bonbons and the ho-hos and watch all the soap operas and, binge Netflix or YouTube or whatever it is that you do. You just don't have that motivation for it, right? So if you know that there's that inkling of any percentage of you that really don't want to do something, pause, evaluate it. Sometimes it may be okay that you don't really want to do something. I'm not saying it's a bad or a good, okay? I'm saying be honest with you, be real with you, really look at it. We always just push that 10% away or that 1% or whatever. We push it away. We don't look at it. We're like, but I was 80% focused. Okay, but without the other 20, what are you really achieving? Are you achieving the goal that you wanted? No, you're achieving some other goal where the post is back here instead of over there. Okay, so don't set your goalpost here if you're not willing to put in the 100% to reach that goal. If you only want to get to 80%, then set your goalpost there. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Okay? And give yourself permission to have a reward. Don't feel guilty. Don't use that word guilty pleasure. Do not use that phrase. Take off the guilty and just say it's a pleasure. Be grateful for your pleasures. Be honest with yourself. Don't set yourself up for failure. If you're okay with whatever, then you're just okay with whatever. And leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Because everybody has free will. Everybody has choice. Everybody has consequences to choices. Good consequences and bad consequences. We all have it. Okay? And nobody judges you for your consequences and your choices but you. Nobody. Nobody at all. Now I want to move on to the laws. God's laws. 7 laws. There's 7 teachings and there's 7 laws. Okay? So call it what you want. I call it the 7 teachings. Other people calls it laws. Just so that we're clear on what I'm trying to say here to you. So the first one is truth. It's not just truth in outside things. It's truth from within you. Be truthful to you. Talk truth to yourself. Right? Tough love. Be honest. Be real. Look at things. Be patient. Be patient with you. Step back and look at it and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? Why do I act this way? Why do I want this? Why do I not want that? Why do I push this person away that seems to really adore me, but I'm just not feeling it? Right? Like, ask yourself those questions. Try to really understand that. And it's not about looking at you like there's something wrong with you. It's about looking at you and really dissecting it and understanding why you feel the way you feel. Why you do what you do. So that you can know thyself. Right? That's what Jesus said for us to do, is know thyself. So the first teaching is truth. The second teaching is love. And again, self-love first. Okay, so self-truth first, and then outer truths. Self-love, and then outer love. Mirrors, right? Respect is the third one. So again, self-respect, and then respect for others. The fourth one is courage. Courage for self, your own courage, and then courage for others. Okay? Then there's honesty. And honesty is different than truth. Because truth is becoming aware of those truths, right? Those truths within you and why you have them. And then the honesty is the acceptance of the truth. Okay? So it's a growth process. It's levels of growth. So you become honest with yourself and you become honest with others. And the more honest you are with self, the easier it is to be honest with others. Okay? Because there's nothing to hide, right? There's no mask. There's no deceit from within. Because you're honest with you. Like, if I don't know why I keep falling off the wagon because I haven't looked at myself, I can't tell anybody else why I fell off the wagon, right? Just an example. I've never fell off the wagon. I've literally fallen off of the wagon, but I've never had an alcohol problem, just to be clear. Humility is the sixth teaching. Wisdom is the seventh. Now, there are also 7 principles that God created. And the 7 principles are the real law of attraction that they don't want you to know about, and they damn sure don't want you to be able to use correctly. Okay? Mentalism is the first one. Mentalism. Thought. Your mind's mainframe. Your state of mind. Mind your thoughts. Okay, so mentalism is the first principle. The second principle is correspondence. That's the communication. The looking at self. Being honest with self. Talking to self. Relaying to self what you need. That mirror, as above, so below. And in and out as well. Because you are an outer reflection to others of who you are to self. Okay, so, and you're going to treat others the way you would treat yourself if you go through the principles accordingly. It's easy to be in service to others. It's easy to be of love and light to others if you have that for the self, you see, because you're not, it's not coming from a place of neediness or less than or whatever, right? The third one is vibration. Everything vibrates. Nothing ever rests. Everything is energy, and energy is atoms in motion. It's vibration. The fourth one is polarity, duality, which is necessary. 2 sides. The same, just flipped in polarity. Similar to the mirror. But understanding the depth of the polarity and the necessity of the duality in order to learn and grow. The fifth principle of God, the Creator, is rhythm. It's the flow, the tide, the pendulum, in and out, up and down, rise and fall. The tides rise and fall. Being in fluid motion, going with the flow, allowing changes to take their natural course, not resisting change. So rhythm, being in rhythm with life. 6 is cause and effect. Action has a reaction. Nothing ever escapes this. Movement creates a ripple effect. So it is the law of cause and effect. It is the 6th principle of God in the laws of attraction. The seventh one would be gender. Gender's found in everything in nature. So, in humans, in souls, we are to learn to master both sides of the gender in balance. We are to learn to balance the masculine and the feminine as equal energies, not one garnering over the other. Flowers have gender, trees have gender, animals, birds, fish. We all have masculine and feminine attributes and strengths, weaknesses, gifts, and lessons. Okay? Um, and oftentimes, I have said in the past that people who feel like they are born into the wrong body were not really born into the wrong body at all, because God doesn't get that wrong. If you're in a male body and you feel more feminine, this is because you need to balance your masculine aspects with the feminine. Okay, something in your soul growth, in your soul's evolution, that you agreed to before you came into this life, into this body, was decided upon that you needed to learn to appreciate the strengths of the masculine, and you needed to learn to forgive the weaknesses that the masculine can offer, usually due to experiences that you have had in your lifetime, this lifetime, the last lifetime, whatever, um, traumas, etc., abuses that created this imbalance within you. So if you can learn to balance the masculine and the feminine to feel whole again, then you no longer need to identify as a female when you've been born into a male body. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being gay. It's not about that, okay? This is not about who you're more attracted to, because we're all just soul energy. And I could care less if it's, two females or a male and a female or two males, whatever, whatever. That's your preference for soulmate energy that you're out there looking for. And your soulmate could very well be in the same gender form as you. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about how you identify with yourself at your core of your soul. If you feel uncomfortable in your body and you identify with something else, then there is a balance within you. There's an aspect of that to be learned from that you should entertain, at least looking at, and consider it. If you decide that that's wrong, that's fine. That's your decision. I'm not judging anyone. I'm simply trying to help people who are looking for answers on how to feel whole and complete. Okay? No judgment. Now, the esoteric teachings tell us that there are 7 principles to the law of attraction, but I personally feel like there's an 8th one. And 8 is infinity, and it is the symbol for our infinite God, our creator, Alpha, Omega, the beginning and the end simultaneously, the Ouroboros. I feel like it's the forgotten principle of caring, because if it matters, it creates physical matter, good or bad. Something could really matter to you that makes you really pissed off at somebody, and so you wish them ill will. Will being the key word. Sent them you just sent them a, a spell. I mean, that's essentially what you've done. You've just cast a spell on them. You've just sent a curse to them. We all do this. not just witches. We all do this. Okay? So if it matters to you, it creates in matter in physical form. Caring is our forgotten principle. It's the whole of the seven, and it holds the seven within it. It's the seed of life, it's growth, it's creation, it governs, it generates, it's the alpha and the omega. It is what brings what is so above to what's below. So the forgotten principle is to care. If you care, it matters. If you care, it creates. Okay. So I want to talk about love for a minute. Love itself is what is left over when being in love has burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. I'm talking about in relationships with other people. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground, and when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are now one tree, not two. Okay? So love is what is left over when being in love has burned away, has faded away. And I'm not talking about from two people that grow apart. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about two people who grow old together. Okay? Um, or people who grow up together, even. I mean, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. When you pass from this world, you can take nothing with you but your soul and the memories that you have shared with those that you love. It's the only thing you take with you through DNA memory. We take those with us. That's why our passed away loved ones still try to communicate with us, still try to connect with us, because that love is still there. Love does not die. Real love does not die. A real bond between two people does not ever die. Okay, clear communication is something else I want to talk about real quick. Um, actually, no. Before I end this, I know it's running kind of long already. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. So, um, okay, I don't know if I want to do that right now or not. I think I'll just wait on that, actually. My apologies. I'm just going to stick that right here, and we'll cover that another time. Because that, I mean, it literally has nothing to do with what we've been talking about at all, and I don't want to change gears so drastically that you're just like, what the fuck did she just do? So I'll just kind of put that with some other stuff that sort of goes along with it. Um, just in recap, I've put out a lot of content lately, and if any of you are interested in understanding or learning the science behind consciousness, the science behind how we can control um, literally everything all the way down to the cellular level within our DNA with thought, I highly recommend that you go check out those last few videos that I've just done recently, like within the past week or so, I guess. Um, because there's a lot of really good, valuable information there. One particular video is about 2 hours long that nobody has even gotten to see yet because I'm still dickering around with some copyright issues. They're trying to say I was infringing on somebody's copyright, but I mean, you know how I do my stuff. I always show who's in the video and who made the video and who the people are. And I'm not hiding anything. I'm not trying to say this is my knowledge, you know, whatever. But I mean, even the stupid 1.5 minute intro music, they've been dickering with me over that being a copyright infringement too. And it's fucking free music that came with my editor program. But, you know, just more tests for people. How much faith do you have, right? So I have to laugh about it. I mean, I kind of bitch about it a little bit, but then I have to laugh about it because, I mean, on a higher level, I do understand that this is just, you know, how bad do you want to get this out there to people, right? Let's just test you a little bit again, Kelly and EarthSong. See if you really want to get it out there to them. Do you really want to make those videos? Do you really want to put yourself out there and come out of your little crabby shell? Yeah, crabby patty. So, you know, simple issues. I mean, the stuff with the music intros I got past pretty easily. I mean, it didn't even take a full day for them to drop it. But this one's went a little long, and they've got the whole video totally blocked until they come to a determination on it. And also, with that being said, if you suddenly do not see me on here putting content out any further, um, please go find my Rumble channel through my Facebook group, my Facebook page, um, on my website, because they clearly told me that if I do not win this copyright issue, that I could lose my whole channel. Like, if they're trying to make it that big of a deal. So if suddenly I'm not on here making content anymore, find me on Rumble, find me on YouTube. There's a video platform called YouTube now also that I just signed up for. So find me there or on BitChute. That's where I'll be putting my videos if they totally can my channel. Um, and you know, if it happens that way, it was just meant to happen that way for my journey. So, you know, if you're meant to continue following me, and there's where there's a will, there's a way. That's what I always say. So you will find me somehow, right? We'll find each other again. Um, because whatever is meant for you will find you, and whatever is meant for me will find me. And we need to all walk in that faith and simply just trust that. And again, I'm merely trying to provide you with the multiple pieces to a big, fat, beautiful puzzle that is your life, my life, and the game of life that we all play in these avatar bodies on this 3D earth plane. So, in handing you, providing you with multiple pieces of the puzzle to find your true peace, and each of us are also a piece of the puzzle to the whole bigger puzzle, which also will bring world peace. Um, I hope that you will continue watching and finding me on whatever platform I may be on. And until we speak again, be well, be blessed, in love and light, your own love and light. Love yourself, be kind to yourself, be patient, be honest, be real with you. That's all we can really do, right? Honor you, honor your truth, and ask yourself why your truth is your truth if you need to. Whatever it is. Anyway, until we meet again, much love.